You've graduated to Census 102. There's a part 1 if you want Census 101. You can watch it now or later. It's all good. The nuts and bolts, the how and what are up. First, the information collected in the census is information that's already out there.
The census form asks for basic information about each member in your household.
Mostly this census will ask about your name and last name, and also about date of birth or how many people are in the household.
Census workers will never ask for a social security number, a driver's license, or other state ID. Second,
All census employees, regardless if they are a person doing the home visits as a census worker or all the way to the very top, they do take a lifetime oath of confidentiality and could face a fine of up to $250,000 or up to 5 years in prison for distributing or in some way giving out information that they obtained through their job at the census.
On top of that, census data cannot be made public for 72 years.
There is a law that does protect census-based information as completely confidential, which includes denying access to the IRS, to ICE,
the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security. Your information is secured, and that's guaranteed by federal law.
Once all the data is collected, it's organized in order to be disseminated. In other words, all the individual information is stripped away, and out comes the broader data. For instance, your neighborhood will show how many people live there, but won't show who lives there. The data is then gathered into larger and larger groups of numbers that reflect our neighborhood, city, district, state, region, nation, and submitted to our elected leaders for review. And speaking of elected leaders, the first official government use of the data is to determine how many congressional districts each state is entitled to. Each district gets one congressperson to represent it in the U.S. House of Representatives. The more people in the state, the more congressional districts. It's a straight-up equation. We want to make sure Minnesota gets equal representation in the U.S. Congress, so we're well represented in the nation.
There's a lot on the line. First of all, the 8th congressional seat that we have. We've held on to it for some time. We barely held on to it in 2010, and in 2020 it looks like we're in the same situation again, where we're very close to losing that seat.
That would be bad.
If that happens, that means that our congressional districts need to grow larger. Rather than splitting the state up into 8 pieces, we split it up into 7 equal pieces, and those districts grow by about 100,000 people, which essentially dilutes our representation in Washington.
So if we're undercounted, we might be underrepresented.
Rural Minnesota is concerned that we could lose a seat.
I think the potential impact on our voice in politics is concerning.
So it's really important that people turn out and fill out their census form to ensure that every person is counted and we get our representation in Washington.
If you lose population, you lose money. It's just as simple as that. And so we need everybody counted.
Just on a personal level, I'm significant. My number counts, my voice counts, my experience counts.
If you don't say, if you don't tell, if you don't provide your information, then you can complain. You can say, I'm not included. It starts from you. If you have to tell that you are part of Minnesota, you are a Minnesotan, and census is the first way you can tell that.
You are counted, and you count.
You want the who and the why of the census? Check out part 1.